now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to be back with you all, and you know it's Monday, so you know what it is. Uncle Terry is in the house. Terry Foster, Detroit sports media icon. We got Sam in the sound booth. We got Sawyer on the ones and twos. Happy to have you all along for the ride. The YouTube chat thread in full effect as always. If you're watching on YouTube, tap into the chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. We'll be chopping it up all day long. Social media handles are on the screen as well. However you want to do it, let's do it. Happy MLK Day out there to everybody as well. And, Terry, you know, here we are, man. Holiday Monday, but we're still at it.
Holiday Monday, but we got to be at it. And today I had to do a daddy thing.
Okay.
My son didn't really get to come home for Christmas. He was home for like three days, and he wanted to be home longer. So he misses home, and he was telling us how much he misses us and all this stuff, which he never does. So I went to visit him on Friday. We went out. Little man's session, and then when I was about to drop him off, at his place, he had called home, and then he said, "Well, I don't know if I really want to stay. Can I come home?" So I'm like, "All right, cool. Come home for the weekend." So I brought him home. We went downtown. We did stuff, and we bonded. Men bonding
weekend,
which is a fun thing. And I was supposed to take him back Sunday morning. And then he had this puppy dog look like, I don't know if I really want to go. So I let him stay another day, and I took him back this morning.
And here you are, man.
And here I am.
Man, look at you, Terry Foster.
That's right. I got toothpicks keeping my eyes open. That wasn't too bad. I was worried that it was going to snow, and there's like little scattered snow on the freeway, but not enough to slow you down.
Absolutely. Steve on our YouTube chat thread. Oh boy, T-Foss in the house. That means he would get a good story at the end, which, yes, we will have Sawyer. You guys know how this works by now. We'll run the YouTube poll, the YouTube chat thread. Terry Foster will give you two story ideas. You get to choose your own adventure. That's the way it works here. We're a station of the people, T-Foss.
All right.
Let's lay it out there now. We'll get Sawyer to lay that out there on the YouTube poll. So, T-Foss, what are the people's choices today?
Well, I don't know if I was supposed to reveal it this quickly. I'm still trying to narrow
Get two
it
together?
down.
Okay.
I got a few, but I'm trying to, I got a request that somebody wants to hear the Charles Barkley Mutombo story.
Okay.
So that I'm still going to put that in the hopper.
All right, but we'll come back to it then.
Yeah, because that one's pretty funny.
Okay.
Charles Barkley is a clown.
All right, well, we'll do that then. How about, let's say, when we come back right before we talk NFL playoffs, maybe 11:15, give you about 10 minutes or so. Is that fair?
Smooth.
That's smooth? All right, I like it. Was a big football weekend. I was off at the end of last week. As you know, I was traveling with the Golden Grizzlies. Still undefeated, Terry.
I
Couple
saw
of
that.
road wins.
Unbelievable.
You know, I'm just saying, the only undefeated team in the state of Michigan in conference play.
Well, doesn't surprise me.
With the Spartans
The
lost to Northwestern.
Spartans slept walk. And, they fell into the trap of Northwestern. Northwestern, not a good basketball team. But here's what Northwestern does. They lure you to sleep. They limit possessions. And then they kind of try to, slug things out. And Michigan State has not played well this year. They're in first place in the Big Ten. But they really, they could have had a couple losses before then.
No, they could. But, they got the job done up until the game against Northwestern. But, hey, the Golden Grizzlies undefeated in Horizon League play. I'm just saying. Just letting you guys know. A couple of big road wins, so it was a lot of fun.
But unfortunately, that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right. It's time to embrace that. For mid-major college basketball teams, it doesn't matter.
Right.
3 days in March matter. That's
right.
it.
That's it. And so they got to go to Indy.
Right.
And perform down there.
No, that is the scenario. Speaking of performing the NFL playoffs, they were outperforming. We're going to have a heavy dose of NFL playoff recap. Red Wings in an afternoon affair today in Buffalo. They got a win over the Sabers over the weekend. They really took it to the Buffalo Sabers. They'll have the chance to do that again. But Terry, I have talked about this in the past, and for me, when you talk NFL playoffs, I said it before I left. You and I have talked about this in the past. This whole Dallas Cowboys thing, man, we're gonna have a deep discussion about that coming up in
America's
a little bit.
team?
America's team, man.
Aren't you sick of them now?
I've been sick of them,
Okay.
Terry. I've been sick of them, and they only further cemented that. And there are a lot of numbers we'll talk about. Certainly, we talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and their playoff win. The fans didn't want to leave the stadium because they finally got the win, which passed a undesirable mantle on to the Detroit Lions. But I will say this. As we have fun with numbers, the Dallas Cowboys, Terry, have been to the playoffs 11 times. 11 times consecutively, they have not made the NFC Championship game. Even the Lions have made the NFC Championship games.
Yes,
in
sir.
11 playoff
and
appearances.
They defeated the Dallas Cowboys to do that.
They absolutely did.
But you know what? There's a bigger issue in sports. There's always that team or that player or that organization where we're told this guy is great. This guy's done so many wonderful things. You should genuflect in front of him. And then you look at their resume and like, well, they haven't done that much. And the Dallas Cowboys, we're told this is America's team. This is the team that at 4:30 you get to see every week. Except this year we didn't see the Dallas Cowboys. You know why? Matthew Stafford.
That's right.
From my understanding, I talked to some of my TV people, and they said the Cowboys were still shown across the United States, except in 2 states, California and Michigan. Because they figure here people want to see Matthew Stafford either explode or implode.
As long as it odes.
Yes, as long as he owed something.
Absolutely. Charles says, good morning from cold, snowy Kentucky. Today I'm at the firehouse today. The heat is warm, and I got my Starbucks made. Well, Charles, appreciate you tapping in as well. AC says, why can't Oakland move up to Division I? AC, been to 3 NCAA tournaments, man. Where you been? Beat Oklahoma State, by the way, this year, who just beat Baylor, the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, Oakland has been Division I for over a decade, haven't they?
Two decades, yeah.
Yeah, 2 decades. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I remember when they were Division II.
I do.
And
I do
the bear
remember
was
that.
skinny.
Yeah. AC also said Cincinnati almost lost the playoff game playing scared. But we're going to do a deep dive. We're going to break down all that stuff. Pistons lost yesterday to Phoenix. Phoenix got the job. What about Cade Cunningham getting ejected? Because low-key, Terry, I liked it.
Yeah, but was it really that deep? Because he claims he was demonstrating for his people.
Right.
And then I guess the refs thought that he was showing up the Phoenix Suns. So if he was celebrating for his people, that's not that deep.
No, but I liked it, though. I liked that because he was on one yesterday. What, he had 21 points in 25 minutes?
It wasn't like he smacked somebody. But it wasn't like he got in somebody's face and called him a dirty name or something.
He's playing good basketball, man.
He is.
Really, really good
he's
basketball.
Starting to shoot the ball better. Because that was the thing that scared me. I thought he's always played well. Even earlier this season, he just couldn't shoot the damn ball. Now he's shooting it better, shooting the 3 ball. He's got a little awkward shot, but if it goes in, who cares?
Right. And there's a lot of Cowboys discussion in our YouTube chat thread, so certainly we will get into all of that. But I did. Cade Cunningham is very, very hot right now. And yesterday, it is a shame that he did get kicked out, Terry, because he could have put a 40 spot up yesterday. He had it going.
Yeah, I think the main thing that he missed out on is maybe he could have rallied them to a win. Because I look at Cade Cunningham, I don't look at his stats. Eventually, this is going to be a guy. Did you win? Did you lose? When they get a roster around him, because that's the type of player he is. He wants to make others better. He reminds me of Magic Johnson from the standpoint that Magic Johnson made his teammates better, and Cade Cunningham is not there. But eventually, that's what he's going to be. He's going to be that guy that if I'm an 8-point-a-game scorer, but if I'm playing with Cade Cunningham, I'm going to average 12 to 14 points a game. That's what he's going to be all about. He's not there yet.
No, absolutely. And look, you could put in place kind of, I think, a similar clock. Like we have that Lions clock that we do, the tracker. I think you have something similar with the Pistons. Cade looks like, he's got a very, very good chance to be the NBA Rookie of the Year. And as you said, it took him a minute to get things rolling, but he's there now, a 40% three-point shooter as of late. He's as advertised, Terry. So now with the Pistons, with a winning record in the new year, by the way, because that's how we're rolling now. I love when you do that, Terry.
Never mind that minus 20 you put up in 90 in 2000, whatever it was, 21.
Yeah, Doughboy Steve says I like Cade showing some attitude. I did too, man, because he is. And D-Mac talked about this, and D-Mac will be back in the fold here coming up pretty soon. T-Foss in for D-Mac and Joik. I liked it, too, because he's very reserved all the time. And D-Mac always talked about the fact he liked how mature he is. Because he's very mature, given his age, and very businesslike and all that stuff. I did like seeing it a little bit. I did like seeing him hype. I enjoyed it, Terry.
But you liked when he became immature. That's what you like.
I won't say... See, look, and we're showing it right now on the YouTube chat thread. He had people over there behind the Pistons bench, and that's why he got hit with the technical. But he was hyped, man. And you see there, too, just the drive. Very, very good drive, too, going around the baseline, finishing with the dunk. Cade Cunningham, lock him in. I think he's the Penei Sewell of the Lions right now, where you can pencil this cat in, and you're good to go.
Okay, but he's beyond Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell, no disrespect to him, but because of the position he plays and because of the fact that it's football, Penei Sewell needs to be a very important part of the Detroit Lions. Cade Cunningham needs to be the face. He needs to be the catalyst. He needs to be the ignition. He can't be a very good player. He's got to be excellent for this since he was drafted so high. He's the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm just talking about from the standpoint of, you got a cornerstone dude that you don't have to worry about, that you just wind up and let him go out there, and you know what you got. And, the people we're talking about, is Cade Cunningham a star? Is he somebody that's going to carry a franchise and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. In an ideal world, if you want to win a title, you are going to have one of those all-star guys, Terry. You're going to have to. It's gonna. You're still playing the long game right now if you're Troy Weaver, I guess.
Right,
but it's off to a good start.
And Cade Cunningham is a guy that needs help, not Matthew Stafford help, but when he passes the ball to somebody in the corner, he has to be confident they're going to make the shot. So once again, I don't think he's that guy that's going to score 15, 16 points in a row, but he could be that guy that scores 6 or 8 points. Make sure somebody else scores 6 or 8 points, and then you get that 14-0 run based on the people around him and how he sets them up.
Yeah, there is no doubt. I guess the moral of the story, that's a long way of saying I like where the Pistons are. I like that they're playing better basketball. And I know, Terry, in the grand scheme of things, is 5-4 in January or whatever they are, 5-3 in January. Does that mean anything significant? No.
Sample size.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean anything significant, but it does make me feel better. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
right?
At least they're not 0-9.
Right.
And
absolutely.
You know what? They went through a period where they weren't losing. They were getting clowned by teams. Teams were making fun of them.
Yeah.
I think it's John Morant said, hey, I scored again. Timeout, Pistons. He was calling timeout for him. That's mocking, and that's saying, you know what? You can't ball. That's what you do a guy like me on the court. I mean, you drive by me smoking a cigarette and then thump the ash on the end of my nose. That's what they were doing with the Pistons.
Well, you know what? That's what Gypsy Vodka is doing to the rest of the vodka market, because the bottom line is they had 50 different formulas, countless taste tests, and what did they do with it? They produced the best vodka in the game today. Gypsy Vodka is clowning every other vodka maker out there right now. It's Michigan's gluten-free vodka. It's made in Petoskey. Support local guys from the state of Michigan. And look, if those reasons aren't enough, you pour it in a glass with some ice, and it's good. What else you want me to say, man? Like, that's what it is. The bottle's cool if you're into the bottle thing. I'm into the vodka thing. I pour it in the glass. I put some club soda in there, a couple limes, and I'm down to roll. Gypsy Vodka. You can ask for it by name in the store. As always, drink responsibly.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. Terry Foster, Detroit sports media icon, in the house here on Monday. Feeling it with T. Foss. He'll have his story selections for you coming up in just a little bit. Sawyer will pop up that YouTube poll. And you guys can choose your own adventure, which way you want story time with Uncle Terry to go, coming up at 50 minutes past the second hour. YouTube chat thread, AC, who do you take, Banchero or Chet? I don't think that's a debate. It's Banchero all day long. I wonder, I'll go college basketball geeky for 30 seconds here, T-Foss, then we'll move on to the NFL. I wonder about Chet's ability to put on weight. I'm really concerned that he can't. And I just don't know that at 7'1" or whatever he is, and he looks like he's 195 pounds. I don't know about his ability to put on weight, and that concerns me. I think Banchero's a guy that's plug and play. I think Banchero will be in the NBA right now if the rules would have permitted for it. So that's kind of where I am. It's a very thin draft at the top. You know how usually it's right. Last year there were 3 guys, right? There was Cade, there was Jalen Green, and then there was Evan Mobley. And if you got one of those 3 guys, you were cool with it. I think it's a 1-guy draft coming up next year, but we'll have a lot of time to discuss that. Rich Diana says, I like I like gluten in my vodka. Well, I like vodka in my vodka. That's why I roll with Gypsy. But the NFL playoffs off and running, as we said. And the Cincinnati Bengals, I guess we'll start there with the Raiders on Saturday. I got a chance to watch pretty much every play of this game because we were on the bus coming back from Fort Worth. So you got
that's a beautiful drive.
Yeah, you got nothing else to do but watch a football game on the bus. But a win for Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow continued to be good. Jamar Chase continued to be good, and they got the win. I mean, it got a little dicey at the end, but it's a playoffs. Unless you're Pittsburgh, it's going to get dicey at the end. That's just the nature of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the nature of the NFL. But this year, 65% of games were decided by one score. Right. So, and just because you bury somebody by a couple touchdowns doesn't mean they're dead. And here's what I would like. If I'm a coach, I almost want to be down one score late in the game, and I can punt and bury that team inside the 20, because I know they're going to run 3 running plays, and I know my defense is going to stop them. So I'm going to get back, be all loosey-goosey. I'm going to drive down and get the game-winning touchdown or field goal.
Right. The biggest thing that really stood out to me is not, and we've discussed this in the past, I forget what the exact number is. The Bengals have Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, I think, for right around $17 million a year combined for the next 2 years. Think about that, Terry.
Beautiful.
Think about that. Now, if you're the front office of Cincinnati, and I know that they're kind of a little bit of a chic pick, an upset pick, an underdog pick, and things like that. I think if those same people that were saying that, Terry, if you said, all right, put your mortgage payment on the Bengals, they'd say, well, no, hold on, I'll take the Chiefs. I'll take
putting
the
my mortgage payment on anybody, not even the Chiefs.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Right.
Like, you can say that until it comes down, you can talk about it, but when it comes down to be about it, that would be a different scenario. So with all that being said, Bengals are nice. They got a playoff win. If you're the Bengals front office, Terry, you're going to feel immense pressure this offseason, I would think, right? In that, so the clock is ticking. where you have two. Is it safe to call? I had a couple of questions for you. Is it safe to call Joe Burrow a superstar?
A budding superstar. He's going to be there at some point. I think he's a star now. Superstar is there's a lot that goes into it. A superstar is you're a great player. You can't walk anywhere in the United States without being stopped. I don't think he's there yet. Is he in the same vein as LeBron James, as Tiger Woods? No. But this guy is going to be great. And the thing is, no matter what he commands, you got to pay it. Don't let him go. And I understand your whole thing. You want the cheap quarterback and everything. But if you have a guy that's so exceptional, which he is and he's going to be, this is going to be your quarterback for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and that's where it is.
Or Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Tom Brady. I forgot the next 30 years.
AC. Well, T. Foss, your remarks are taking heat instantly here in real time. AC says Joe is a superstar. Stop, Terry.
We have different definitions. That's all right.
Rich Diana says Terry's mortgage payment is in the 5 figures. Can you confirm that?
It's in the 4 figures.
There is a comma in there, no question. But people are talking, too, about Joe Burrow's glasses. That makes him a superstar right there. But, okay, so we're there with that. Jamar Chase, probably in the same boat to you then, right? Where an emerging, a budding superstar. And that's fair. Like, I won't die on the hill against it. I happen to think that they're both superstars. Yeah, very, very good football player. Does this, in your mind, and maybe I probably should have saved this for the week that they lose in the playoffs, but I'm curious to see how they react from a front office perspective, because the clock is ticking instantly, and this happened way quicker, I think, than anybody expected there, where the Bengals, again, how are they going to treat this? Are they going to continue with the quote-unquote process, or do you speed things up? And I hope, Terry, and I ask this question because I think that's where Lions fans want to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you speed things up. It's sort of like the Detroit Tigers. I'm convinced the Tigers were not going to do anything this offseason.
Fair.
But A.J. Hinch, who's a great manager, he pushed that team a little bit further than we thought, and I think the Illegits said, okay, we gotta at least pay for a shortstop. We got to pay for a starting pitcher. So I think, yes, you do push it a little bit quicker than you anticipate or you wanted to, but sometimes stars, not superstars, cause you to do that. And I'm not done with the superstar thing. Superstar, in my mind, is special. It's like, I don't use the word excellent for many teams. Excellent means you've won a championship. Excellent isn't 10-6 and you lost in the second round of the playoffs. Excellent is you're 11-5, you won a Super Bowl. That's an excellent team. Now, when I look at the quarterbacks who are superstars in the NFL, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. And Josh Allen is getting there. He's pretty damn close. That's it.
But he's got to cash it in. Let's bottom line, and we'll discuss the Bills and what they did to the Patriots. But you got to go on the road sometime and win a playoff game, man. Like you got to go rise up and you got to do it, Terry. And if Josh Allen, who they got to go to Kansas City, and they're the chic pick, they're the trendy pick. A lot of people saying, "Hey, I really like the Bills," which is fine. I understand that. They look great. But it's all on the line next week, man.
Right.
That's the nature of the playoffs. It's all on the line when the Bills go into Kansas City. And you either win or you lose.
Right.
And that's it.
Or you can look bad. But Josh Allen is a guy that I really like, but I'm not calling him a superstar yet. And Joe Burrow, not a superstar yet. He's going to be there. And somebody can call in like 5 years from now and say, T, you said Joe Burrow wasn't a superstar. Well, he is now. Yeah. All right? I'm saying today, right here, right now, not a superstar.
The Bengals win means another thing as well, too. They passed the mantle to the Detroit Lions for the longest postseason drought working. So, Bengals avoided matching the Lions for longest postseason losing streak in league history. Detroit is currently at 9 consecutive playoff losses. So there is that. And this is how this is going to go, Terry. Like, every team that wins in the playoffs adds some more misery to the Lions. It just does.
Right. Or the Lions add their own misery.
That's
you know
fair.
what? Win a playoff game. Be competitive. Do something instead of blaming everybody else. But, maybe there's something about big cats in the NFL. Bengals, Lions, just didn't do it. But I was looking the other day about what was happening in 1991. Well, actually, it was 92. It was a 91 season, so that was the last time the Lions won a playoff game. It's just pathetic. And now, look, a lot of people think I hate the Lions. That's not true. As a journalist, the Lions are the greatest thing that you can have because everybody cares. Here's my point. You people out there deserve more than the Detroit Lions. You deserve more than rooting for victories once or twice a month. You deserve more than a playoff win in 60 years. You deserve more than a franchise that would bring in Matt Millen, a franchise that would bring in Marty Mornhenwig, a franchise that would go 0-16. This city deserves better than that. And the thing that baffles me are the people, how many people support this crap. And I know there's some people like, okay, I'm tired of the Lions. I'm Lions free. And guess what? Many of those people are lying. They're not Lions free. They just say it because it's the cool thing to say. So that's my take on the Lions today.
And there's a lot of discussion now, Terry, too, because we talked about the whole Joe Burrow thing with Jamar Chase, where they are saying, how are the Lions going to get their quarterback? Joe Burrow, they're a top draft pick. What do you do? Because you figure, and we discussed this a couple weeks ago, and we'll get into it more as we look at the draft and all that, where with the Lions, and Terry and I think are in lockstep about this, I don't think it's possible for the Lions to be as bad as they were last year.
They won't. You know what? They should win 7 games next year.
Yeah, and somewhere around there, and just based on the fact that their offensive line, is it fair to say they're a top 3rd offensive line, top 10 offensive line in the NFL?
I would definitely say that. And law of averages, they will be mostly healthy next year.
Bingo. And that's it. And I think they proved that they were able to run the ball effectively enough to where when everybody is there healthy, they'll win a couple of football games. They will. So I guess it comes back to that where you say, how would they go about getting that quarterback? And we got a long time to talk about that.
Well, here's the thing. You get that wide receiver first. Now, after you pick either Hutchinson or Thibodeau, now you can start getting toys. And the toys are the wide receivers and quarterbacks. I'm talking about your high-impact playmakers. That's when you can start getting those people. In the second round next year, the first round the following year should be your quarterback. And you have to hope that Stroud or somebody turns out to be a very good quarterback, because I don't think that guy's there this year.
Yeah, and we will see, too. That depends on who the Lions value. I'll tell you who I value when I'm working out. Planet Fitness. Happy to have them on board here at Woodward Sports. It's home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership, just $10 a month. They got a deal going right now, $0 down, $10 a month, guys. I mean, come on, slide through there. I exclusively work out at Planet Fitness. I love them. And they have the black card option as well, just $22.99 a month. Get you in over 2,000 locations worldwide. I travel a lot. It's something that I use when I'm out on the road. Unlimited guest privileges as well. Hydro massage chairs, all that business too. If you just want to work out, just walk in, work out. That's your thing. They certainly have that offer available right now. $0 down, $10 a month. I work out just down the road from the one here in Troy. Staff, awesome. Gym, awesome. I enjoy my time there. And I honestly think that if you're looking for a gym to join, that's where I would tell you to go. Because as I tell you with these ads that I do, guys, like I use the products. I work out at Planet Fitness. Can relate. Can tell you they got it going. They're
and don't
also
forget
hiring.
Pizza and Bagel Day.
Yeah, that is true
That's
too.
huge.
That is true too. And right now, Planet Fitness hiring for all positions. For more information, visit planetfitness.com.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house. You know, we got Sam in the sound booth. We got Sawyer mixing and scratching as well. Now I heard, and we're going to get to Terry Foster's story choices for the Choose Your Own Adventure with T. Foss. Now, Sawyer, I do have to bring you into question here. I was told that you did the Motorsports Minute with Sawyer.
Yep.
Which, you know, the people clamored for. They did. It was almost universal. They have much love for it. Now, my understanding, I was told that the Motorsports Minute went longer than 60 seconds this past week. Now, if that is true, hold on. I'm going to ask you about that in a second. Immediately, that makes me go to Sam, because Sam is the guy who has shown a propensity and a love to do his job at a very, very high level. And he knows.
But I told you Sam would break down and just let him go.
Now, hold
to
on,
town.
Terry. We don't know that for certain.
Okay.
Let's investigate here and see what the story is. Sam, I was told the Motorsports Minute went on for longer than 60 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, though, there wasn't a lot of content left in the show, so I thought that it was a perfect way to kind of just end, and Sawyer was doing such a good job. There was a lot to talk about in the racing world, and I think the audience enjoyed it, so I just let it go.
See, I told you this guy's too nice.
You're right.
Way too nice.
Terry?
What?
You were right, and I was wrong. You were right, and I was wrong. Now,
Okay,
I guess,
right.
Terry, I lean on your wisdom, both in sports media, both in the leadership and parenting world. You know, a man of experience, and I value opinions of people that have experience. Who do I direct the anger towards in that situation? Is it Sam? Is it Sawyer? Because Sawyer took advantage, right?
He took advantage, but, you know, you got to blame both of them. What happened was there were no real men here. The only real men are me and you. So everybody else, once we're gone, they get all happy and willy-nilly, and they feel they can do anything they want, and it's not going to get back to Papa.
Right.
And it got back to Papa.
So my question is Sawyer, to you, you know, is this something that you did in high school too? If the parents left, you threw the party and everything like that? Is that how you've always been?
No, I wasn't a throwing a party guy.
No?
When the parents would go. But I don't know, I just kind of felt like, you know, everybody was gone. We had Leach was filling in, so he's a big motorsport guy. So I had that to lean into as well. And there was just so much going on. And it's not Sam's fault. I approached him, and I told him I was going to go over. So he knew it. So that's on me. Don't get mad at Sam. I just put him in the spot. But
Plus, where's Sawyer from? The mean streets of Fenton.
Right.
When you live in Fenton, you feel I can do anything I want.
Right.
Who's going to stop me?
Absolutely.
Nobody.
You got to survive. You got to survive. Jake Wagoner says Motorsports Minute went over. That's fake news. Okay. So, all right. I guess my question is, you know, how do we rectify this? Do we go back? How far over did it go, Sam? Ballpark it in your mind.
Oh, man, if I'm being honest, like 2.5 minutes or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Man, that's not only a foul. That's a flagrant foul.
You know, I'll be honest. We started the Motorsport Minute at like maybe 12:55, and I took it to like 1:01. I was feeling it.
I thought it was
Dad
like
was away.
12:57.
Hey, you
Maybe,
know what
yeah.
they say? When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Lions Detroit 35. Make them run some laps, Neil. you guys know though you violated the integrity of the Motorsports
Yeah, no,
Minute.
I liked your idea. We'll see how long I went over, and then we'll just subtract it from the next Motorsport minutes as a punishment. So I might have like a Motorsport 8-second or something.
You guys, I'm not mad.
Just disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I have to live with that now, though. I have to live with that.
Disappointed.
And you know
because,
what? I knew this would happen.
Rack says 2-week suspension. That's. I feel that's harsh.
That's harsh because
On
now you're
a
messing
first
with the man's
offense,
pay.
here's what I'm thinking, and I put it to the people. You know, I'm no dictator or anything like that. It's your guys' show as much as it's my show. What about 30 seconds next week?
Yeah, I'll take my punishment.
Is that fair?
I'll wear it.
All
I'll
he can
stand
do
by
is
what
clear
I
his
did.
throat in 30 seconds.
Well, you know, he better have it ready to go. He better have it ready to go. That's all I know. 30 seconds. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's just because it reminds me of the time my buddy and my group of friends, his parents went away for the weekend, and we did that. We threw the party.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where we moved all the furniture out of the house.
See, that's smart, though, because you didn't want to ruin anything.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
smart.
we videotaped it. We went through with a video camera to make sure we put everything back the right
That's
way.
really smart, too, yeah.
And we moved everything out.
Now, they had to find out. Did they find out?
Sunday morning, you get up, you start getting back to work, getting everything back in there around 1. And it was about 10 o'clock, and we were only about halfway done. Ooh. We didn't realize we had moved that much. We had much more people that helped move out than were helped moving in. And finally, my buddy just gave up, and he said, look, I'm just going to wear it. So that's how it
See, there's no way our kids can do that. And here's the reason. My wife will look at the carpeting. Does you know how when you lay a couch on the carpet, it leaves an imprint, or a chair? She will see if it's out of kilter. If there's an extra little indentation there,
Yeah, right.
she'll check that and bust on them that way.
Right, and that's what we did too, like with the bookshelf and everything. Like we.
But you can't get it just right.
You can't get it just right.
No
And
way.
we were trying, and we knew that we were cooked. So, that.
But did you have a good time?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
bam. That's it.
Yeah, we had a great time. 2-track Jack. Motorsports Minute going over was fine. They filled time at the end of the show with pertinent content. Juice's Ghost. What if the Motorsports Minute was cool because it was 3.5 minutes?
They told us 2.5. But it sounds like the people are not angry. So if the people are not angry, why should we punish them?
Well, because like don't you have to have respect for the
but maybe
for the rules
you do. But maybe they made a calculated decision on how to make the show better.
And they shot their shot?
And maybe they made it better.
All right, we'll see. All right, Joey 2 times. He went over by 3.5 minutes, so you punish him 30 seconds. What kind of accountability is that?
Damn, this went from 2.5 to 3.5 minutes. No, they're saying 3.5 minutes over, which means it was actually 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. So it was good, though, Sawyer?
I mean, I thought it was good. I thought the content was there. We covered NASCAR, Formula One, and IndyCar. I mean, we hit it all.
You hit it all?
Yeah, we hit it all. We blew through it. It was nice.
All right, we'll do that then. We'll do.
I'll wear my punishment.
People saying hashtag free the motorsport too. There's a movement now. We'll do 30 seconds on Friday, and then we'll circle it back. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, I'll wear it.
Right.
I threw the party. I got caught. I'll take the punishment.
We'll move on. All right. No one ever made it to the big time by following all the rules. So says Rack.
There we go.
Hey, shoot or shoot, man. He shot his shot, and that's
true.
cool.
Didn't Howard Stern break every rule in radio? Look what happened to him. $1 billion contract.
Juice's Coast says, I don't even like racing content, but come on. All right, story time. We got to put the YouTube poll up. You guys know how this works. Story time with Terry Foster. You get to choose your own adventure. Terry will give you two story choices. You vote in our YouTube poll that we run on the YouTube chat thread, and the winner, that's the story that Terry will tell coming down the stretch at the end of the show. T, what do you got for us today?
I have, because by request, someone had texted me and wants to hear the Charles Barkley just killing Manute Bol about his feet. How rusty they were, how ugly they were, how they looked like giraffe's feet. And he had this great finishing line, which I'm going to tell that just and capitalize the whole thing. That or the time I tried to, do you know who Brian Greasy is?
Yes.
I tried to get Brian Greasy into the NFL party and failed. And the lady that had the power to get us in had a great line about Brian Greasy. Because she didn't believe, first of all, she didn't know who he was. He wasn't in the league yet. If he'd been in the league, he would have gotten in easily. But this was after his senior year at Michigan and before he was drafted. She just and just a little old lady, like 2 feet tall, had a great line about Brian Greasy.
Yeah. All right. I like it. So Sawyer will get that up and coming up in just a couple minutes on the YouTube poll on our YouTube chat thread. So drop your votes in there. I know which one. I'm not gonna spike the Kool-Aid, so I'm not gonna discuss or divulge which one I like. But I think that's a pretty clear choice in my mind. Certainly, and there it is up there right now, and the votes are coming in. There you go.
Beautiful.
So we're in there. Charles McLean, hey, I got my tickets on Friday for Daytona 500, so I love me some motorsports talk. Patty Grimes, free motorsports. AC, no one cares about Brian Greasy. I don't know, AC. Well, hey, we'll let the people decide.
It's the story. It's the story.
Yeah, we'll let the people decide. So, obviously discussing the NFL playoffs when we come back, I do want to chat about what Buffalo did to New England. We'll kind of go game by game on it. So that's how we're going to do, culminating in what happened with the Dallas Cowboys, because I have some thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys. I've had enough of Dallas. For real. Had enough about can't wait to get into that. But guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like football 5 days a week. We like things uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, a mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house on a Monday. We are off and running live from the MyBookie studios, talking some NFL playoff action. The Bills rolled up on the Patriots. Put it on him. Josh Allen, 308 yards, 5 touchdown passes. And, for me, with the whole Buffalo Bills game, and I know where people are going to go with it, and people love them, that Bill Belichick got destroyed and stuff like that. But, Terry, it was never 4th down for the Bills in that game. It was never 4th down.
That's amazing.
My understanding is that's the only time that's ever happened.
Right, and you know what you hear? Oh, Bill Belichick is he's gonna put the mojo on Josh Allen. Oh, his defense. What's he gonna do with what are they gonna do against Bill Belichick's defense? How about cut through it like Swiss cheese? But you know what annoyed me about that game?
What's that?
They were talking about how cold it was. The Ice Bowl, this is comparison to the Ice Bowl. The Ice Bowl was minus 15 degrees. They even screwed that up. They said it was minus 13. It was minus 15 degrees. Do you know what it was in Buffalo? Plus 6. It was 6 degrees.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that's balmy. You don't show up in your shorts. But that's a whole hell of a lot different than minus 15.
You know the biggest storyline I think that came out of that game was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Did you guys see this, by the way? What was Ryan Fitzpatrick doing at the game? A. What was Ryan Fitzpatrick doing at the game without a shirt on? B. He went there with his family, sat outside. Like, he was there for it, man. So I know you like that.
Oh, yeah. I've always been a big Fitzmagic guy. I mean, he always gets it done, and he's just a clown. I mean, where else would you see an ex-NFL quarterback being shirtless with Bills Mafia?
That is
wonderful.
You know what? That's the one thing I really admire about white guys. White guys can show up in the dead of winter, minus 10 degrees, no shirt on, and having a great time, smiling. I mean, you get a brother out there, we freeze, we're like, damn, get me out of here. We last for like 30 seconds, and we're done. But y'all be like, hey, got no shirt on, it's minus 10, woo!
I've never understood that either, Terry. But again, you guys
What
know
is
this.
Is it alcohol? Is it that you got more hair on you? What's the deal?
I think alcohol plays a fairly large part in all that. I think it does, to be honest with you. But I mean, for me, look, guys, I've told you I'm honest about this. I'm soft, very soft.
So you've never done that?
No, I'm not. It's 6 degrees outside, man. The wind chill's below zero, Terry.
What if Greg Campy asked you to do it?
No, I can't. Luckily for me, basketball's indoors. That's part of the attraction.
He never told you to go out and take a lap around the arena with no shirt on?
No, he never did. Yeah, he never did. But, I mean, obviously it was crazy cold. It was good to see Fitzmagic, though, out there being with the people. I just can't believe they never faced a fourth down. And, look, the Savages were out there. They were ready to disparage Bill Belichick and stuff like that, and they got cooked. There's no doubt about that. But Terry, they got there with a rookie quarterback, man.
Right. That's to be admired. But every franchise, every superstar, at some point, you get your comeuppance. And this was maybe the New England already started when they got rid of Tom Brady. They thought Tom Brady was done and cooked. But you always, see those same teams that you smashed for years and years and years, they're there to meet you when you're coming down. And Buffalo is obviously is one of those teams. Buffalo's done things the right way. They can sling it in the cold or the warmth or whatever. But now Buffalo is probably going to reach that plateau where they're feeling good about themselves, but they're not quite at Kansas City's level in the playoffs yet. Yeah, you can beat them during the regular season, but can you beat them in the playoffs? And my guess is no.
And that's fine. Like I understand that. But I mean, as far as the way the Bills dominated in that game, Emerald Eye says Patriots got straight cooked. No, they did. Absolutely, they did.
They got clowned.
they got clown cooked, all of it. AC says Sawyer walks around in his shorts in the wintertime. He's confirmed that he doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. Not anymore, anyway. He doesn't do that. But, Terry, I'll ask you this. As far as the Bills go, it's a nice win, and I know it got the people going, and people were fired up, and the Bills were kind of like that chic dark horse Super Bowl champion pick. We touched on this a little bit before we went to the break. All it did for me was cement the fact that if they don't win in Kansas City, it means nothing.
Well, you can't say that because it was New England. Here's the deal with them. New England has been the big bad boogeyman in that division. Nobody beats New England. The Jets don't, Buffalo doesn't, Miami, forget about it. So that would be the same if the Lions are playing a playoff game against Green Bay and they smoked Green Bay by 28 points. No matter what the Lions do the rest of the playoffs, you're going to look at that and say, hey, look what the Lions did. It's sort of like Michigan against Ohio State. Look what Michigan did to Ohio State. So when Michigan gets mollywopped by Georgia, it's like, it's not that big of a deal because they beat Ohio State. And for Buffalo, it was finally slaying the dragon that is New England in a playoff situation and beating them badly.
And then they did, too. Detroit Dabber 3-1-3, no punts, no interceptions, no fumbles lost. Every single drive was a touchdown until the kneel down. First perfect game in NFL history. Josh Allen had more touchdown passes than incompletions.
That's amazing.
It was surgical what they did to him. They absolutely destroyed him. But again, for me, Terry, it just doesn't. Everything is dictated by what they do next weekend in Kansas City. Everything.
So you are a tough customer, and I respect that. And normally I would agree with you. I'd be saying, Neil, you're right, brother. Hey, good that you thought about that. But I still think that there's certain teams that when they beat their nemesis, that's almost like, hey, we accomplished whatever we wanted to this season. We beat New England and advanced in the playoffs. Now, if they get beat by Kansas City, guess what?
Again,
I don't think
get beat again. By the way. And they got cooked last time.
I don't think people in Buffalo are going to be like, "Oh God, this team sucks, and I'm tired of them. I'm going to be Bills free." No, they've done. Everybody's not in it to win a championship. Some of them are in it to slay dragons. Some of them are in it to win a playoff game. Some of them are in it just to make the playoffs. And I think Buffalo's thing was, all right, the big bad dragon, we killed them this year. And then maybe next year they're thinking, okay, we can beat them. We can beat Kansas City. We can go to the Super Bowl.
MPWMU says, yes, you slayed the dragon, but did you get the girl? And I think that's very spot on.
Well, the girl was frozen. You don't always get the girl, though. Superman doesn't always get the girl. Batman definitely doesn't always get the girl.
Yeah, Batman doesn't. Update on the Red Wings. Thomas Greiss has been placed on the COVID-19 list. So Thomas Greiss will be out for a little bit for the Red Wings. But, yeah, I mean, the Bills played a perfect game. But for me, Terry, it just doesn't matter because they're at that spot right now. They've gone to Kansas City before with everything on the line, and they got waxed. And from what we saw with the Chiefs, I know it took a minute to get the engines going, but once they did, it was a wrap.
All right, who the AFC is supposed to go to the Super Bowl?
What's that?
Who from the AFC is supposed to go to the Super Bowl in your mind?
For me, it's got to be Kansas City.
Right.
Because Kansas City's fighting a little bit of the same thing where, look, you can't take it away when you've won. You can't. The Kansas City Chiefs have won a Super Bowl. You can't take that away. Mm-hmm. But in the nature and the time and space we are now, they have to win another one to validate everything.
Right, and that was my point. Doesn't Kansas City have something to prove?
Absolutely.
And we're not going to let these stupid little hicks from Buffalo take that away.
Right.
So because Kansas City, early in the season, like, oh, man, they were in last place in the division, like 4 weeks into the season. So now, last year we were looking for the two-peat. They were going to beat Tampa, but that didn't happen. So now they have to validate. I think the validation for Kansas City is stronger than that in Buffalo.
And that could be right. And look, Bills fans, for those of you watching on the YouTube chat right now, Bills fans were in rare form, as they always are. Very good height, by the way, jumping off the trailer through the table. And that's cool, and that's fine. You jump through your tables out in the parking lot. You got a big win over the Patriots, played pretty much a perfect offensive game. But for me, This is the NFL playoffs, Terry, where now we're getting into it. Because I do have this question for you, Terry. Do you like the way that they expanded that extra playoff spot?
Yes, because I got to see more games, and normally my favorite time of the NFL season is the NFC-AFC championship game weekend, because I know this is the Final Four and all these great teams are in it. But I think I enjoyed this more. The games weren't great. Some of them were not great. Pittsburgh, obviously.
Which is a byproduct of adding teams.
That is true. But even the Pittsburgh game intrigued me because Ben Roethlisberger said, if there's 14 teams in the playoffs, we must be number 14. So even though they got their butts kicked, I kind of enjoyed the butt kicking because now it puts you in a certain spot. Pittsburgh is not the monster anymore. They haven't been for a few years. So they are what they are. They're a declining franchise. Maybe we saw the last of Ben Roethlisberger. I didn't see any of his quotes after the game. But, no Big Ben. So Pittsburgh is going to have to reinvent themselves. Pittsburgh, in essence, was destroyed as a franchise yesterday.
Yeah, they were. It was finished off. Let's just say it like that. We'll talk about the Chiefs game, the Buccaneers game as well. But I want to get into the Dallas Cowboy thing, which we will after the next break. Updating our YouTube poll right now. Story time with T Flips, as Sawyer likes to say. Two choices: Charles Barkley talking about Manute Ball's feet, or getting Brian Griese into an NFL party. That's what Terry Foster was trying to do and couldn't come through. Couldn't get Brian Griese into an NFL party down at the Super Bowl. Charles Barkley on Manute Ball's feet, 61% of the vote right now. getting Brian Griese into the NFL party at 39%. So
yeah, and then the Brian Griese story just had a fantastic, sarcastic thing that the lady that could get us in said. Because I got in, but he couldn't get in.
Well, I guess we got to have... I was going to ask you a question about it, but that's part of the story. If you want to hear the answers to the questions, you got to vote for the story.
Well, maybe your question is going to simulate people. What is it?
How was the separation conversation between you and Brian Griese, where Terry's going into the party, couldn't get Brian Griese in? Michigan quarterback, by the way.
Right.
Couldn't get him in.
Actually,
so you guys are together. So you're trying to take up for him to get him in the party.
The story happened the day before because I was getting my ticket to the NFL. See, you have to understand, during Super Bowl week, the NFL has this huge party on Friday night. Back then, it cost $1 million for this party. And the venue is so big, they have 4 live bands going on at the same time. But if you're in one section, you can't hear the other 3 because they're so far away. So I was getting my ticket, and Brian Griese happened to be there. I said, so we recognize each other. I said, what's up? He said, I'm trying to get into the NFL party. I said, oh, I'll get you in. I got connections. I'm going to it. So we were talking and bonding and stuff, and then the lady was like, if you don't have a ticket, you can't get in. I said, well, I'm telling the story.
All right. Well, yeah. Don't tell the story, Terry. Don't give away the goods for free, man. Mm-hmm. You can vote on the YouTube chat poll. Voting's spiking as you figured it would. Let me give you a live update of where it sits right now. Charles Barkley on Manute Bowles' feet, 62% of the vote, getting Brian Griese in the NFL party at 38%. Huh. That's a bit surprising to me. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. It's the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. You can buy online at cintronworld.com with the promo code REDWINGS10. Save 10% with shipping included. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brady Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Neil Rule, Terry Foster in for D-Mac and Joik. Happy to have you all with us here today. And for me, this was the one I've been waiting to get into. And this was something I previewed on Wednesday before I left to go on the road trip with Oakland basketball because I knew exactly how this was going to go down. The Dallas Cowboys lose to the 49ers 23-17. So much to unpack in that football game, Terry. But the bottom line is this for me. Enough with the Dallas Cowboys. Enough. I keep hearing about how they're back and how they're going to the Super Bowl and how they're going to do this and why they're Super Bowl contenders and all that stuff. Enough. Are we done with the Dallas Cowboys? Can we stop it with the Dallas Cowboys? They're never back. They're never a Super Bowl contender. And I know that they were the linchpin franchise of the National Football League, back in the 90s when Boys to Men were singing Cooley High Harmony. All right, I get that. I understand that. But now, today's day and age, they're an afterthought. And I'm tired of hearing about... And you know how when you go to your fantasy draft... Zeke Elliott works his way through your fantasy league every year, where there's a guy that takes him in the first round of the draft and says, this is the year he's going to bust out. And then every week you look at the box score, and Zeke Elliott's got 44 yards rushing. Every single week it is with this guy. And I got to hear about how he's an elite running back all the time. He's just a regular guy. And Dak Prescott doesn't get it done. And the Dallas Cowboys never get it done. And we see Mike McCarthy out there calling plays like they did yesterday. It's stupidity and it's folly. And for the Dallas Cowboys, as you're seeing right now on our YouTube channel, this is what they do all the time. This is who they are. The officials tried their best yesterday to keep the Dallas Cowboys around. They tried their best, but try as they might, you can't stop the Dallas Cowboys from going Dallas Cowboys. And that's exactly what the Cowboys did. Are we done, Terry? Are we done with the Dallas Cowboys? Am I done with Zeke Elliott? Am I done with Dak Prescott? Are we finished with the Cowboys?
And that commentary is brought to you by Stephen A. Rule.
No, T-Foss. No. I'm tired of hearing about it, man. And again, it's rooted in the whole fantasy football thing for me. That's what I've noticed because, and you guys know this, in every fantasy football league you've been in, Zeke Elliott has worked his way through every single team because the year you take him is a year he's going to bust back out. Luckily for me, I learned early. The rest of the people continue to learn. But again, Zeke Elliott, man, 12 carries, 31 yards. Tony Pollard seems to be a better fit for them and what they do. That's up to debate or whatever. It's just the Cowboys doing Cowboys things, Terry, and that's what they did. And oh, by the way, they've had their last 11 playoff appearances, they haven't reached the NFC title game. Even the Lions have done that in 11 playoff appearances. They're the worst at it. We talk about fun with numbers. True. That's fun with numbers. They're not back. They're not coming back. They're not going to be back. And earlier in our YouTube chat thread, I forget who it was, so I apologize that I don't give proper credit, mentioned the fact, you look at their salary cap situation, Terry, it ain't good over the next couple years, so we're done. That's it.
But here is the thing. Here's why we hear so much Dallas. It's a very strong media market. The NFL is convinced this is America's team. They get good ratings. Jerry Jones is a very affable owner / general manager / president or whatever the hell he is. And so you incorporate all that, and then we go back to what happened in the 90s, what happened in the 80s. So what we do with college football. I'm convinced that a lot of the polls are based on what teams did in the 70s and 80s. It's the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. That brand is so huge. Have you been to Texas lately?
Yes.
Okay. I've been to Texas a few times. You go to San Antonio, you go to Houston, you go to any big city in Texas. Hours and hours away from Dallas. And what do you see? Cowboys crap all over the place.
Downtown Houston, it doesn't matter where you are in Texas. Yeah.
It's Cowboys stuff. So the brand is huge. And you look at, Jerry Jones, what do you do? He says, okay, the NFL has a Coke sponsorship. I'm going to do Pepsi. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So it's perception. It's fool's gold. But we as a fan base, we as a society, we get duped upside the head. And that's okay.
I don't understand it, and I'll never understand it. And Gator Raider puts it very well. Cowboys, 3 playoff wins in the last 28 years, and one was gift wrapped over the Lions. It was gift wrapped to them. They tried to gift wrap it yesterday, but the Cowboys didn't want it. They had no timeouts, and they ran a draw play. Oh, you forgot
one word to describe the Cowboys. Chaos. Foolish, stupid, haphazard, and chaos. That game ended in chaos, and Mike McCarthy might be the perfect coach for them because he's kind of a limited coach. Deer with the headlights. He coaches like a deer looking in the headlights at night because he kind of is like this on the sideline. Oh, my God, what's going on here? Take control of your team.
Right. Joey 2 times was the one that came up with the salary cap situation. Cowboy ranks and available salary cap space moving forward. 2022, they're 30th. 2023, 32nd. 2024, 31st. So this is what they are. And you have to roll with Zeke Elliott now because that's the bed you're laying in. And
No, you don't. You can move on. But the thing is, he has such a huge name, and he was a very good back. The problem with running backs, and that's why a lot of times people don't take them in the first round, is every hit diminishes you as a ball player. You're a battering ram. And Zeke Elliott has taken too many hits. He will never be, again, what we expect him to be.
yeah, well, they got a potential out in 2023, be about a $12 million dead cap hit. They should 100% exercise that because you're not going to win with this guy. And we've seen it time and time and time and time again. But again, you look at their salary structure, where they are, it's not looking good. And the plays that they run and everything that happens to them, we just saw what the Dallas Cowboys are. They're a fugazi. It's fake, Terry. Like you were saying, it's fake. It's not based. It is. It's based on past.
You know what we should do? We should laugh at them. Well, by everybody else,
I think
out there
America was
saying,
laughing at them yesterday.
how great they are, or the perception is, we should just laugh at them.
Yeah, it's America's team.
And you know who's the biggest rube? Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin, when he's talking about the Cowboys with the words that you can understand, when he gets all excited, because he's like, oh, go Cowboys, oh, great, ah. He's saying how great they are and how we're all wrong.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, where you get hit over the head with this stuff from the media about the Cowboys, and I don't understand it. Don't understand it at all. And I never will understand it because I just go on what happened. And as somebody brought up, 3 playoff wins in the last 28 years.
I know, but see, we live in a society where perception is more important than reality. And so perception has clouded the reality of the Dallas Cowboys. There'll be some clowns next year picking the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. And if you disagree with them, they'll chop your head off.
Right. It's just I have been cooking on the Dallas Cowboys for a very long time. And again, this was something where you always see it coming. And I kind of laughed too. Actually, I did laugh a lot to see their fans throwing the, and Sawyer ran the clip a little bit ago, to see their fans mad because the refs, quote unquote, jobbed them. And
how did the refs job them?
That's what their creation was. That's what they said.
Because
they didn't move quick enough to spot the ball and all that.
Now look, Dak Prescott runs like a fool down the field, slides too late, and now you got the little fat referee supposed to keep up. He's not an NFL player. He's got a big beer belly and a fat ass. He's not supposed to keep up with Dak Prescott. So he got there as quickly as possible. Look at him. He's running up there. You know, he's got to move the center out the way. And in the center, by the way, as I would do, he put the ball a yard ahead of where it was. The referee is supposed to spot it in the correct place. I don't fault that guy. Look at him. He's a guy with a dad bod, and when you get a dad bod, you don't move as quickly.
Well, I didn't understand their fans being all upset with the officiating when they go review the spot on the Samuel run and they look and see, all right, where do we have to move this ball to for it to be 4th down? And they move it to that exact precise location. Right. It's just they get every benefit, every whistle all the time. We know, we're Lions fans. We saw it. I was drinking it in yesterday. I was drinking it in. I loved it. From Zeke Elliott's 31 yards rushing to Prescott running when there's no timeouts left in the middle of the field to the fans throwing the stuff on the field. It was a perfect cocktail, Terry. It was almost as good as Gypsy over some ice and some club soda and some limes on a Saturday night. That was the only thing missing for me. It was perfect. I loved it. I breathed it in. I wanted it injected into my veins. If you sold that out on the street, you'd have America hooked on it in a second, Terry.
The only difference is Gypsy doesn't smell like garbage.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The Cowboys.
That would be the new blue magic.
Right.
If you put it out there on the streets,
but isn't that
Cowboy
what,
sadness.
Isn't that what everybody does? We blame everybody else except our heroes out there, the ones that are supposed to get it done, the ones who have opportunities to to overcome everything. Who told Dak Prescott to run on a quarterback draw with 11 seconds left and no timeouts.
And somebody,
his coordinator did.
But somebody in the YouTube chat was saying, I guess Prescott said in the media that he made the decision to run. That's even worse. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, that's even worse.
Oh, no. Here's the worst thing. He said, we practice as we do in practice every day. So you mean to tell me you practice every day taking a quarterback draw with 11 seconds left? You practice that? Then that whole coaching staff should be fired. The franchise should be disbanded. You're all jokes if that's what you do.
Emerald Eye says, why is Michael Irvin so swollen? Looks like he's having an allergic reaction to something every time he's on TV.
Well, when he talks about the Cowboys, yeah. He's like, Cowboys, great. This is the year.
People think you're Irvin spot on, man.
Yeah, I know.
They think you're Rack, the two chicks crying had me cracking up. And you look at their fans in the stands, like you guys didn't know this was coming. This happens every time. Like this is some kind of surprise to them.
You don't understand. This is the year.
I know.
This is the year that everything's going to change.
Yeah, my bad.
You know what? When they pan the fans, you know what it reminded me of? Michigan fans when they lost the game with trouble with the snap. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what the hell happened?
Charles McLean says the Cowboys have a cakewalk division just like the Packers, but can't win in the playoffs. Two Track Jack says it was delicious, Neil. No, it was. I literally wish I could have bottled that and drank it because I loved it. How'd it taste, guys? How'd it taste? And oh, by the way, 28 years, 3 playoff wins. Don't sit there and act like you guys are some linchpin of the National Football League and all that stuff. Your running back had 31 yards rushing.
And that's only 3 more playoff wins than the Lions have.
Big facts.
So that should say how bad your franchise is.
Yeah, Houston Texans got playoff wins too, guys. Like, that's it. No, that's it. It was a great day. It was a great day. And look, guys, Guardian Alarm gets it. Good defense on and off the field. Helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology. Helps you feel safe 24/7. Local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features. Let you check on your home. Control the lights, control the temperatures, detect carbon monoxide, smoke, etc., etc. All the toys you need. It will even let you lock and unlock your doors. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT! Today, that's 1-800-STAY-OUT! Guardian Alarm's been trusted for over 90 years, folks, at keeping people safe. They're the only answer in the home security game. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Get like the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yep. Okay. Dallas Cowboys, the NFL playoffs. Stay out. Guardian Alarm should keep them out too. They are your local security experts.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it. Spin. Spin. Uh-oh. Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin. Spin. Until you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
No off-season for us. We're talking sports 365. Detroit Sports Network. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house, in for Joik Bell and D-Mac. Joik's some island somewhere. Last I saw D-Mac got some business stuff popping. He'll be back with us towards the end of the week. Happy to be rolling here with old Uncle T. Don't forget our YouTube poll, story time with Terry Foster. 2 choices. He has a story about Charles Barkley making fun of Manute Ball's feet, getting 59% of the vote, or Terry Foster, the time he was at a Super Bowl party and tried to get Brian Greasy into the party but was unsuccessful. Those are your 2 choices. Get on the YouTube chat thread and make your thoughts known. Choose your own adventure. That'll be coming up at 50 minutes past the hour.
So Joik is on the island. I was jealous of Joik Bell that he's on the island, but I did some investigation. You know what island he's on? Belle Isle. So you don't need to be that jealous of him.
Yeah, here's one Sawyer. Like Rack says, Joik is an island boy now.
Oh, God. Those dudes.
Oh, he's going to come back. Hey, Mon.
Yeah. The island boys.
Yeah. Sawyer doesn't work here anymore.
So Sawyer and I, if we ever leave Woodward Sports, we're gonna buy a cameo from the Island Boys to announce it together.
I will pay for that cameo too, 100%.
There's no doubt. It'll be the greatest exit, second greatest exit to a company of all time, though. Oh, yeah. Wrapping up the NFL playoff discussion, David E. Walker says that's the dumbest play call I've ever seen in my life. That's what I thought, too, when it happened. There was some discussion that Dak Prescott did it on his own, and if that's the case, that's even dumber. That makes it worse. Buccaneers got the win over Philadelphia. They were, 31-0 at some time. Tom Brady got it cooking. So, it's just Brady doing Brady things, and all the stats and all the numbers that always seem to follow him every time he does something. 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 9 catches, $117, a touchdown as well. All the stats popped up about it too. Brady playoff starts against other starting quarterbacks in the playoffs combined. Just all these numbers are all kind of jaw-dropping. Tom Brady spent 469 days in the playoffs. 34 wins in the postseason, more than double the next closest. And Brady, this one was pretty cool. More playoff wins than 28 other NFL franchises. And he tied the Cowboys, too. He pulled into a flat-footed tie with the Cowboys. So, Terry, he'll have the opportunity next week, depending on what happens. And we'll get into the Cardinals-Rams discussion as well. But he'll have the opportunity next week, Terry, to overtake the Cowboys. Wow, stunner.
Yeah, that is a shocker. But, the thing that tickles me is Tom Brady, all he's done, the 469 days in the playoffs, the 34 playoff wins, he still gets criticized. Well, he didn't do this, and, deflate gate and everything. It just shows no matter who you are, you're going to get criticized. If this man can do what he's done and gets dogged by a certain segment of the society, who are we?
Yeah, I mean, you're just, this in this business, Terry. When we talk into this microphone, there's going to be 20% of people that are going to dog you. And
right, absolutely.
It's just math. It's just the way it is. Like we could talk about any subject, and there'll be 20% of the people that say, you're an idiot. How do they pay you? Why are you working there? All that kind of stuff. And then we laugh and we get in our car and we go home. Like that's the
right.
That's the way that it all works. Try to entertain the people, like to give an honest effort up here, and I like to think I know what I'm talking about to some degree. There's people out there though that know more about subject matter. I don't dispute that. I understand that. But as it goes, and I get the feel. Do you get the feeling, Terry, that this Buccaneers team, and I know they were up 31-0. I understand that, but I'm getting a bad vibe from this Buccaneers team. There's been too much attrition, and look, right, this is what we always do. Right, we always count out Tom Brady and missing Godwin and Antonio Brown imploded and is Gronk healthy. We always do that. Am I walking into a trap again, Terry?
No, you're not, because when we talk about playoff teams and we talk about teams that win championships, one of the first things we say is don't turn the ball over, and the second was, are you healthy? They're not healthy. You got to be healthy in the National Football League to win a championship. And same applies to Tom Brady. Same applies to his teammates. So, no, I don't think you're walking into a trap. And you know what? He doesn't win every Super Bowl.
No, he doesn't. Charles McClain, Jacksonville Jaguars have more wins in the postseason than the Cowboys in the last 30 years. Let that sink in,
sad.
Folks. Let that sink in.
Jacksonville, who's going to be in London one day.
Soon. One day soon. Maybe we should start that next football season. That'll be our bit, Terry. Have the Jaguars turned the corner? Are they Super Bowl ready?
That's right.
And we'll have all the little cool Jaguars graphics. Sawyer and everybody will line those things up. And we'll have them up there. And it'll be
great.
great.
We should have a Trevor Lawrence inflatable here.
We will. And that, maybe we'll do that, Terry, next year.
I'm all for it. Hey, I'm not going to fight you on that.
I know they're 1-7, but the Jaguars are ready, guys. They're ready to make their move. They're going to run it off here. They're going to run it off, finish 9-8, and they're going to get in the playoffs and take it by storm.
in defense of the people, you know who else people are saying that about? Your 13-1 Lions.
That is true.
Yeah, they're going to take off. This is just a start, and great things are coming. So maybe that's just the NFL.
Yeah, it's just, for me, and look, it depends on what happens with the Rams game here tonight as far as what the next matchups will be, as far as who goes where and all that stuff. But for me, it's just, I know that they were dominant over the Eagles. What about this point, Terry? And I was going to trap you on this earlier, but we were up against a break, so now I'm going to go back in. You liked the extra playoff games, you said, right?
I do.
You did. You liked it. Despite the fact that there were a couple of dog walkings.
There were dog walkings, but they were big-time franchises in that. I wanted to know what direction are the Steelers going to go into.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's no Big Ben. And you know what? They're ready to move on from Ben Roethlisberger. So they've got to transition. This may be the last time we hear from the Steelers for a couple years.
It could be. For whatever reason, though, they always seem to rise up and figure it out. But I ask you these questions, Terry, because I'm kind of taking the long route here. And this is kind of off the board a little bit. The ACC people, the ACC commissioner said that they were against playoff expansion. And that's what I thought about with this week. And I thought the NFL did a good job as far as keeping franchises engaged because people had playoff hopes, and Sawyer's Colts and everything imploded and lost to the Jaguars, who are a better big game team than the Dallas Cowboys are, certainly. Where I thought about the college football playoff expansion that people are kind of clamoring for right now. I think you would get what you saw with the NFL. And I'll ask the people, did you guys like the NFL playoff expansion? Because there were some routes, and more games were routes than they were close games or good games. I think that's how the college football playoff would work, too, if they expanded it, Terry, where you would get these types of games like Iowa playing Alabama or Georgia or something like that. Like, you would get these things, which was essentially the Chiefs playing the Steelers.
True, but you'll get that initially, but you would also hope that at some point, right now, if you are a 5-star player and everybody wants you, I'm going to Alabama because I know I'm going to be in the playoffs, or I might go to Clemson. I'm not thinking about any other schools, but if you allow more schools in there, maybe that 5-star is saying, hey, you know what? If I go to USC, I can beat Alabama. Screw those guys. So initially, yeah, you'll probably get Alabama smacking Iowa around 62-15 or something goofy like that. But in the long run, maybe you'll get more of these guys, these real top guys, wanting to go to other schools. I mean, when you look at where do the 5-stars go? They all go to the SEC. There's more 5-stars at Alabama than the Big Ten. That doesn't make sense. Maybe you distribute the talent where other schools have a shot. Right now, when we look at college football, what do you think of? Alabama, and then somebody else is going to, like it was Georgia this year, or it was Clemson a few years ago, or it's been, I'm not going to count Oklahoma because Oklahoma gets in it and then get their asses kicked.
Right.
So I'm not going to count them, but it's always Alabama and somebody else. Now I would like to see Alabama, Clemson,
Ohio State,
USC, Ohio State, and somebody else. Let's expand where teams are going to have more talent.
And Matt Carrier says here in the YouTube chat that I enjoyed having more football. So why do we rail against the bowls then?
Because the bowls, you play the bowl and you go home. In the playoffs, it means something. Okay, I won 40-0, but you know what? I got to come back next week and play another team that's better, and I might lose. So when it's one and done, it's a lot different than one and everybody's done. It doesn't matter because the bowls, there's no point. No. So you win a little stupid trophy, big deal.
And you get some Duke's mayonnaise dumped on your coach.
Right. But if you say, okay, I'm playing in the Gator Bowl, but next week if I win the Gator Bowl, I'm going to play somebody else, then you know what? It would add.
I don't know. It's just I found it interesting to have because everybody was on social media like celebrating this mega wild card weekend,
So
and it was the same principles
you-
that they say they hate about college football.
So are you throwing haterade?
No, I'm not throwing
Yeah,
haterade
no,
on it.
it
I
sounds
enjoyed
like it.
T-Foss, I enjoyed it. I'm just giving some perspective. That's all. Everything that everybody said that they celebrated about the NFL playoffs.
Okay, I
It's the
can
same
tell
thing
when
they
you're
say about the
upset
college
about
football
something.
playoffs.
You look. It's like someone poured some salt down your mouth. You going, oh, the NFL playoffs.
No, I did. I liked it. I liked it too, like everybody else. I did. But I just think, like, if you go this route in college football, it'll be magnified. Like the blowouts, because I did see some people complaining about the amount of blowouts. And when you expand playoffs, that's what happens. And they'll be worse in college. I'm just saying. I'm also just saying, guys, if you're going to get down on the sports action, mybookie.ag, that's the only play. Sign up today. Use a promo code Woodward. They'll match your deposit up to 50%, guys. That's right. All the way up to $1,000. NFL playoffs are here. You know, wall-to-wall football. You've been sitting there watching it. Get down on it as well. Hey, live bet these things. When these games are blowouts, if you think the Chiefs are going to keep cracking on the Steelers, live bet these things. You can do it at mybookie.ag. Use a promo code Woodward. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. NFL in action. You got basketball, certainly every single night as well. NHL hockey also. There's some of you guys out there too. Australian Open tennis at 2 a.m. I'm just saying. It's out there. If it's not your thing, cool. But if it is your thing, mybookie.ag. Jump in that Australian Open action. It's on. I'm just saying. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. With MyBookie, don't forget promo code Woodward. Double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline. 1-800-270-7117.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house. We got Sawyer, who does the motorsports 3.5 minutes, I guess, when I'm not here. He's in the production booth. We got Sam in the sound booth as well. We got all of you on our YouTube chat thread, social media. And don't forget, too, 93.5 The Roar if you're listening on the radio. Appreciate you tapping in, 94.7 HD2, 99.1 FM. Don't forget about the Big D Energy podcast, too. Spotify, iTunes Store, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, all of that as well. Subscribe to it and lock it in. Big D Energy Podcast. Latest episodes go right to your phone. If you're lazy like me, it's perfect. Rewind, fast forward, whatever you want to get to, you can get to. Joey 2 times, tennis prop bets. Yeah, absolutely. Sam Fisher. Thanks, Neil. Watching the Open with Djokovic. Yeah, that whole circus that went on.
Yeah, what was that all about? First you ban them, then you let them in, and then you change your mind.
Right. Charles McClain. You can have a team with a losing record and still play in a bowl game, but with the extra team in the NFL, at least you will get a team better than 500. We'll see that time. We've seen
not
it.
Always.
Yeah, we've seen it.
You're
in the
gonna get
past.
a 7 and
you had a 7-9
10.
division champion. What, last year, or the year before that?
Right, but that was a fluke thing.
Sure.
But I got to ask you a question. I want to see if you're gonna turn into a sourpuss.
All right.
Or if your eyes are gonna glow. I think the NFL, at least locally, saved the best playoff game for last.
They did.
Now, are you team Matthew Stafford, or are you team Matthew Stafford go to hell?
I think everybody here knows, it's been well documented, what my take on Matt Stafford and the LA Rams are. And look, I'll give you all my qualifiers. I though I don't think they will. I think they'll beat Arizona because I think Arizona is a broken football team. I am rooting for the LA Rams to lose. Why is that, you ask? You must be bitter about Matt Stafford. I'm not bitter about Matt Stafford. He was fine. This is all I'm concerned about here. We're halfway home to the 34-game counter. I want the LA Rams to lose because obviously it benefits the Detroit Lions and the draft positioning. The same way that I was rooting for Lions losses this season, because once I know they couldn't make the playoffs, you're penalized for winning after that point. You just are. I didn't make the rules. That's the way the rules are. Same thing applies here. It's not personal against Matt Stafford. Very good. Here, all the following statements are true. Number one, Matt Stafford had some very good seasons here in Detroit as a quarterback. That's true. Matt Stafford had the football in his hand with a chance to win a playoff game on the road and didn't deliver. That's also true. Matt Stafford was very good to the Detroit community and did a lot of great things in the community. That's good. That's also true. I drive by the football field that they provided for Detroit Public Schools out there, or whatever I'm going down to Detroit City FC. Very good. Commendable. Tip my cap to him. Did everything right media-wise. Was a good spokesman for the team. Guys seemed to rally around him. That's all good. This is business now. For me, tonight is business. And business is better for the team I root for, the Detroit Lions, if the Rams lose. He's not vindicated if he wins. He's not vilified if he loses, to me anyway. The only thing I'm worried about is what's in this for the Detroit Lions. That's all I care about. Matt Stafford's gone, and he ain't coming back. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't hope he wins so he feels good or to see him get the playoff win. It's business. And business for the team I root for is benefited by him losing. That's it. He's not here. He's not coming back. So it doesn't matter to me, Terry.
I hear you. And I should agree with you, but I don't. I don't root for teams and stuff like that. But I'd rather see him win a playoff game than lose tonight, because I think he will be vilified if he loses this game tonight. It's like, you couldn't win with the Lions, and then you go to the Rams who are stacked, and you still can't win. You're a bum. I don't wish that upon him. I would like to see him win tonight, and then he can lose next week. I don't give a damn.
Hurts the Lions, Terry.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that draft pick. It's going to be a first-round draft pick. They've got the number one pick. And whether they get 25 or 32, I personally don't care.
Can you agree with me, Terry, that it is more valuable to have the 23rd pick than the 28th pick? That's mathematical, right?
I agree with everything you say, but I just don't think that way. You are right, and I'm wrong. But I just don't care about that pick. And yes, it's more beneficial for the Lions. Yes, if you're a Lions fan, you should root for Stafford to lose tonight. But I just don't give a damn about that pick. It's going to be a first-round pick. They've got another one, which is going to be the number one pick or two pick or whatever it's going to be. So I'm fine with that.
He's gone, and he's not coming back, guys. Lions benefit if they lose, point blank. And it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what the Rams do. I care what Brad Holmes does in the draft. I want Brad Holmes, who has shown the Amon-Ra St. Browns, Aleem McNeil, Penei Sewell.
And when did he get those picks? Fourth round, third round, second round. I have confidence that Brad Holmes is the real deal. He's going to get a quality player at 25 and a quality player at 32. And he may even actually get up there and lie and say, oh, yeah, we had this guy pegged as a top 15 pick, and we got him at 32 or 25. It doesn't matter.
Ryan Randall says Stafford doesn't deserve the praise the Lions fans continue to give him. He did what in all those years, even with a great team? Nothing. He isn't a Verlander. He's gone. Simple. I had the same take on Verlander.
When did he have a great team?
2014 was a very, very good team.
That's not great.
Historically great defense, Terry. Historically great. Against the rush. One of the best of all time in the NFL.
Okay.
And had the ball in his hand and didn't get it done.
Except when it counted. You could guarantee that defense, if the Lions are winning by 3 touchdowns and the other team gets the ball with 4 minutes left, you can guarantee that other team was going to score. So that was not historically great to me.
Two-Track Jack says, hoping he loses in a shootout, comes back next year, and has the best season of his career. I don't. It's business. And
next year doesn't matter. So now you sound bitter if you want him to fail next year, because the Lions are not going to be competing for that playoff spot.
No, next year, Terry, the same rules apply.
It doesn't. It's different because there's no first-round pick to.
They get the pick next year again. 2 first-round picks.
Then they already have one?
No, not yet. This is the first year they get it. And then they get it the following year. And guess what? It's business. I want them to fail because it benefits a team I root for. Guys, look, if that makes me a bad guy, then I guess I'm a bad guy. I think it makes me a good fan, personally.
I think it makes you a wonderful guy.
Does it?
Yeah. Nobody will argue with you. They argue with me because I don't give a damn about what pick they get. They got a number 1 pick. They got the number 2 pick in the draft, and then they got the bonus first-round pick. You know what New England would do with that pick? They would trade it away.
Hey, Terry, I'm cool with it. That's ammo. That's ammo for Brad Holmes to me. I want him to have all the available ammo that he can have in order to do the job that looks like he's very competent at doing.
All right. Because Brad Holmes is competent, whether he gets the 25th or the 28th pick, he's going to get somebody quality.
But, Terry, it's more valuable. We got to have this fundamental discussion all the time. It's more valuable to have the 23rd pick than the 28th pick.
Where was Amon-Ra St.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Where was he drafted?
He was in the 4th round.
Okay. So if you're great, you're going to find a great player in the first round.
But he has the opportunity where he can trade that pick and get extra 4th round picks, Terry, or extra third. He can do whatever he wants.
Whether it's 27, 28, 29, you can do the same thing.
Right. Matt Carrier, T. Foss compliments Neil, and Neil disagrees with him. Yeah, I just don't. I don't understand. Charles McLean, who gets the blame if the Rams lose, Stafford or McVay's offense being figured out? And that's
McVay and Stafford in the same boat. I mean, if they lose tonight, McVay is going to be on the hot seat.
They're connected, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Because McVay, where they go to some island and they had little girl drinks and, rubbed each other's back and lotion and stuff, and then he signed Matthew Stafford. Oh, here's the other thing. And this is why Stafford is a worm boy. Do you notice everybody who coaches Matthew Stafford can't criticize him? The Lions coaches couldn't criticize him. It was always somebody else's fault. Matthew Stafford is great. Sean McVay is doing the same thing. When he said that, they pointed, the LA media pointed out, Stafford hasn't won a playoff game. What you got to say about that? Well, he sort of won the Dallas game, the officials.
I think his word was he's basically won the Dallas game.
So, in other words, you can't criticize this guy. You can't have competition for him. His wife is going on social media defending him that, about the silent count and everything. Matthew Stafford, you got to build a team around him, but you also got to build a team of enablers to praise him all the time. That worries me a little bit.
And that's fair, man.
Might be a worm boy.
Get your votes in for the YouTube poll story time with T Flips. Do you want him to tell the story about Charles Barkley making fun of Manute Ball's feet, or do you want him to tell the story about the time he tried to get Brian Griese into an NFL Super Bowl party but couldn't? So those are out there right now. Charles Barkley on Manute Ball's feet right now, 57% of the vote. So speak now, because we'll be wrapping that thing up coming up pretty soon, just like my guy Sawyer wraps up a PBR out of the mystery beer vending machine.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, especially with the NFL postseason going on right now, the best place to be in Detroit on the weekends is the Folding Warehouse. So many TVs all around, 2 full bars. The warehouse is gigantic, multiple lanes for you to play at. You can just show up, pay $10, unlimited play all day, stay open to close, get as many mystery beers as you want, as long as you're responsible. We want everybody to be safe. You can also rent private lanes for up to $120 for your family reunions, birthday parties, corporate events. We had our Woodward sports party there this Christmas. It was a great time seeing everybody out there. Watching Joik try and force himself into the championship game was pretty funny. Watching him and Stick go at it with that. And, I mean, you can bring your own food in. You can make a little picnic basket, bring it in. You could Uber Eats, bring that in there as well. As I said, mystery beer machines. I got the PBR in Old Milwaukee. You guys know the story. Braylon had the Colt 45. 3 hitters on 3 attempts. A 4th attempt is going to bring out another fantastic one. But if you don't like the mystery beers, or you just don't want to risk it, you're on your $2. They have over 100 beers to choose from as well, so you won't go wrong. Literally anything you can think of, they have it there. So you won't have a bad time. I'm probably going to be there this postseason watching football games, throwing footballs. I mean, it's the best combo possible. And then Daytona 500. You know Sawyer will be at the Fullen Warehouse slinging some beers, throwing some footballs, and watching some left turns. So if you're interested in that, go to the Fullen Warehouse in Hamtramck or go to thefullenwarehouse.com. We got Neil back on the desk, T. Foss on the desk today, Sam's in the audio booth making sure we sound crispy, and I'm just keeping us live. We'll be right back here on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster coming down the stretch of the show. Paul N. says, I don't get fans who get emotionally involved in another team in regards to how it translates to our team. We all should want the best outcomes for this team, regardless of how we get there. Go Cardinals. Preach, Paul N. Preach. It's business for me. It's not personal. The best outcome for the Lions is the Rams to lose. It's been like that since week 1 of the season. It'll be like that through week 17 and through the playoffs of next season as well. That's just the way that it is. I got a question for you here, T-Foss. Somebody checked in.
Yes, sir.
Ask Terry where some good bars and restaurants are downtown. Got an appointment on Friday. Would love to try a new place.
Okay. It's plenty. If they're a sports fan, my favorite place to go is the Brakeman. The only bad thing about the Brakeman is you have to buy tokens for your beer and drinks. And the reason I like it is because they have the NFL ticket. They have 8 or 10 college games on at the same time. So if you're there on a Saturday, that's a great place to go. But since Friday is not a college football or NFL day, then it doesn't apply there. And also, Penny Reds has really good fried chicken.
Penny Reds, yeah.
Penny Reds, that's right.
That is a cool spot.
Right. And then there's another place that I kind of like called The Corner, which is near the Brakeman. It's right on Woodward. That's a good spot. And the other one, I can never remember the name, but it's Echelon Market. It's right by Prime and Proper. I'm not going to send you to Prime and Proper because that place is expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't want, all your money to disappear. But this place is, it's like Echelon Market or something. And they have this purple drink that is delicious. It's like a sangria.
Purple drink?
I don't know what it's called, but it's purple. And if you're wearing white, you don't want to spill it. But it's delicious.
There you go. Give you another couple seconds.
Oh, wait a minute. It's Friday.
Yeah.
You should go to I'll think of it in a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay. Detroit Dabber 313, and the honey biscuits at Penny Reds are fire.
They are. And you know what's better than the fried chicken? The fried chicken sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fried chicken sandwich guy, man.
Are you? Okay. Yeah. Popeyes or what's the place?
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A spicy one is better.
Okay. Is there there's not a Chick-fil-A in Fenton?
Sir, it's a bummer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we make it work, Joik brings it in every once in a while. Braylon brought it in last week, and then we'll drive over to Lansing. They have one there, or Oakland's campus dining hall.
That's
Or is
been
it gone?
that was shut down.
Oh, was that when I was at Butler?
Did you
Those
shut it
4
down?
years?
No, I didn't shut it down, T-Foss.
I've actually been to the dining hall at Oakland University. I did not have Chick-fil-A. I had Panda Express when I was there.
That's usually my go-to when I'm there, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm about the Panda Express. Orange chicken, T-Foss?
Yes. Orange chicken, and then whatever else. Then sometimes the mushroom chicken.
Yeah, I'll do the mushroom chicken or the chicken teriyaki also. I'm going to get some heat about this Chick-fil-A over Popeyes thing. I sense it. I sense it.
I like Popeyes better.
What do you got? Sorry.
I've thought about this. We had a lot of debates at school about the whole chicken sandwich thing. Chick-fil-A, more chicken meat in it. Popeyes is more breading. So that's what
That's fair.
I like more chicken.
That
in
is
it.
true.
But it's really good
But that
chicken.
breading
But
is
Popeyes
good.
sandwich is delicious too. But yeah.
And you know how they have the artificial fake that you got to get this chicken, and then for Popeyes, the line was around the corner for like 3 weeks.
People were
And
fighting.
now you can just roll in and get a chicken sandwich anytime you want.
Yeah, they're good.
Straight fire. Steve Brown says Panda Express is horrible. I don't know. I like it. So, I
Oh,
don't
wow.
know. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you guys. I did come across this story over the weekend, and this is, you guys know my love affair with Mountain West football. You guys know it.
It's a little bit sick, but yeah, we know it.
Yeah, you guys know. Hawaii head coach Todd Graham resigned after 2 years. There was massive amount of transfers, and also some abuse complaints as well. And this makes me happy because I was not a Todd Graham fan. So T-Foss, I'm hoping they can, maybe they go bring Nick Rolovich back. I don't know. Maybe we can get that spread offense out there going again. Maybe some run and shoot, Terry, and we can get back to those 45 to 40 games at 2 a.m. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. I'm all in favor of it. I never watch it, but yeah, I'm cool with it.
People saying Popeyes has better flavors. So, Chick-fil-A is a Becky basic.
It is a basic, but the sauce is good.
It is. It is straight fire. There is no question about that. Red Wings in action coming up in just a couple minutes. They will be at Buffalo. Big 4-0 win on Saturday. Pretty solid win. They put together some wins, Terry,
and some losses.
They have. I mean, they're just kind of moving along, man.
I think they've reached that stage where they don't know where they are as a team. They're young, very inconsistent. And I can't even say, normally a team like this, you say, well, they're good at home and they stink on the road. You don't know when the Wings are going to thrive or when they're going to be absolutely horrible. It could be at home, it could be on the road. It's just it's like this moving dot all over the place. And I think because of that, the Wings will miss the playoffs and probably don't deserve to be in the playoffs because they're so wildly inconsistent. And the teams that they were neck and neck with, they had like 4 or 5 games in hand. Now they're playing their games and now they're passing the Wings.
Right, and that's where it was. There's just not a lot to report. That was a nice win that they had over the weekend. Be a nice win today if they were able to get that win. I wouldn't have a big problem with it, certainly. But I think everything that you said is factual. Just in that, what are they? Boston has 4 games in hand, and they have a 7-point lead. So it's Terry. I think we're pretty much it's a wrap. The playoff talk. I think that's a wrap.
It was cute.
It was.
At least
it
we
was
got
fun.
to talk about it a little bit.
We got a game, Terry.
Right.
Like when I go back to that game that they played Boston at LCA last 2 Sundays ago, we got a game that I was like, all right, this is important. This is an important game. Now it turns out that was.
That game was so lopsided.
It was like the way it went down, and then obviously with Boston getting that win, you had to have that game. In my opinion, are there must-win games in January in the NHL? Probably not. But that for me, if you wanted to keep your spot, and this is part of it, guys. Like, I know we're celebrating it, and I love their setup, and I love where they are, and I love where they are financially, and I love where they are with rookies and contracts and all that stuff. I like it. However, the first taste they got of real life They got mollywopped, as you like to say.
Yeah,
They did.
See, there's no such thing as a must-win for a quality team in January. But for a team like the Wings, who appeared to be imploding, yeah, I think they do have must-wins. They have must-wins to keep them on track. They have must-wins to keep confidence up in their dressing room. They have must-wins so they can at least be within striking distance. So I think some of the mediocre teams do have that in January, because the thing about the NHL, there's obviously so many games that you could look up and you're like, we were in it a week ago, and now we're just like, no shot.
Yeah. Klomsaw says you can't make the playoffs in January, but you can miss them. And that's kind of where I was with it. It was the first big game since they went to the playoffs the last time. To me, it was the first big game, and we saw where it is. But I'm not being critical. And Tammy Chin says they're 500. I'm happy to watch a rebuild. That's where I am too. I'm cool with it. It's not a dumpster fire. It's not what it was at the end when Ken Holland was here, where there was no hope and bad contracts. It's not. He's got that flip, and I'm cool with it. That's how this stuff works, Terry. You covered the Pistons. You got to fight your way up, man.
Right.
Red Wings had to fight their way up. That's just the way it works.
Right. And there's going to be downfalls, pitfalls, disappointments along the way.
Absolutely. Story time with T Flips. Poll's going to get closed in about 15 seconds as we go to the next break. Charles Barkley, a story about Manute Bol's feet, or that time Terry Foster tried to get Brian Greasy into a Super Bowl party and failed. We'll have that story for you. Story time with Terry Foster when we come back. It's Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brady Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house. Also, you know the players. We got Sawyer in here. We got Sam in here as well. The YouTube poll for the Choose Your Own Adventure with Terry Foster has been closed. Story time with T Flips getting the nod with 57% of the vote. Charles Barkley talking about Manute Bol's feet. Terry Foster,
Yeah, you
the
notice how
stage
those
is
polls
yours.
get a little bit closer right at the end.
It did.
But anyway, I kind of knew Charles Barkley when I was covering the NBA, and when he was in Phoenix, I think it may have been a preseason game or something. I was visiting with him in the locker room, and Manute Bol was his teammate, and so Manute Bol, before the game, goes in to take a shower. And so he just walks by with his towel on, and Charles Barkley looks at me and says, "Watch this." He said, "Manute, what in the hell is that?" And he just started talking about his feet. He says, "Those are the ugliest, damn, ashiest feet I've ever seen in my life." He said, "Man, Lubriderm would have no shot cleaning those damn things up." And then he just kept capping them, and Manute Bol said, Charlie, stop it. That's not funny. And it was funny, man. We were doubled over laughing at Charles Barkley, and all he did for 15 minutes was talk about Manute Bol's feet. Didn't talk about his legs or his face or his hair. It was just his feet. And then the clincher was, he says, "Man, Manute, man, with them ugly-ass feet," and he started talking about how ashy they were, and he mentioned Lubriderm again. He says, "Man, to get those feet straight, to get all that ash off, you need either Pennzoil or Quaker State." And we were dying.
Ashy feet.
Yeah, ash is that's the way that black people cap on each other. Like, you can't have ashy elbows or ashy anything because you get dogged.
You need Pennzoil.
Need Pennzoil or Quaker State.
Quaker State. That's in the racing world there, Sawyer.
Trickle in, you know.
And so is Pennzoil.
Yep. Yeah, they're all sponsors and stuff, you know.
All right, so tonight, Monday Night Football playoff edition, the Rams and the Cardinals. Set it in stone, T-Foss. How you see it shaking out?
I think the Cardinals are imploding, but I'm going to go. One of my friends here in the media is so harsh on Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford is just going to win this just to piss him off. So I think the Rams are going to win this. Going to be an ugly game. Matthew will have 1 or 2 turnovers, but he'll have 3 touchdown passes. So it's going to be a wild and woolly affair, but the Rams will win.
See, I think the Rams will put it on the Cardinals. And lest we forget, you saw that Cardinals team here at Ford Field.
True, but the Rams are a train wreck too. I know they had a very good record. They're in the play. That's a little bit of a train wreck. You can run on them. San Francisco beat them up. They make a lot of mental mistakes. Aaron Donald is fantastic, but that line can be pushed around. And they make a lot of dead ball penalties. We want to blame Matthew Stafford every time they lose, but when you really look at that team has got flaws.
See,
outside of quarterback.
Here's why I think that they'll win tonight. And I think that Stafford's stat line will be good when it's all said and done. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, man. Mm-hmm. One of those 2 guys will make a play because they always do.
But they make it late in the game.
You're right.
So it'll be a train wreck until they start to make the plays.
Yeah, one of those 2 guys will make a big play on defense, and the Cardinals just aren't ready. They're not, and we talked about this all season long, and when they were shiny and they were winning the division, and what were they, 9-0 or whatever they were, and winning all these road games and stuff like that, you could just see this coming from a mile away. You could. And this Cardinals team, they're not built to win big games. They never win big games, and they're not going to start tonight. We talked about the MyBookie thing. I'm just saying, if one were so inclined, I really, really should we do a special get right? I think like a on the spot get right.
I like it.
I think we should, as a matter of fact.
I think you're correct, but on the way to Ramsey and Aaron Donald making the plays, you're going to be saying, what the hell is this crap that I'm watching? It might be exciting, but it's going to be some crazy football up until the end. So this is I think it's going to be a close game because Ramsey and Aaron Donald usually make their plays with like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. And that's probably what's going to happen tonight. But up until then, it's going to be wild and woolly, and it's going to be crazy and can go both ways.
It gives me some pause because as I go to mybookie.ag, I see the Rams now 4-point favorite. So that seems to be popping up. But I'll tell you guys this, and I don't usually give points away. You guys know that. I'm still very comfortable with the Rams on an impromptu, spur-of-the-moment MLK Day get-right special. And T-Foss, maybe you don't know, the get-right closed strong. We wrapped up the season 10-6.
Okay, I know you're struggling for a while. I'm glad you recovered.
Yeah, we shot out of the gates, a couple of unfortunate breaks in the middle, and then we closed strong. And I'm going back to the well here. It's a get-right special, Sawyer. Write it down. The Rams tonight are a get-right special. So, hey, if your weekend didn't go so well,
but Neil, this game is not starting at 10 o'clock. It's going to end at 10 o'clock. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, I'll do it.
All right.
I'm all the way in. So if the weekend didn't treat you well, gather all that up, and I'll get you right on one pick. You had 5 losers, Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Take all that you had, take all that you lost, and I'll get it all back for you.
Oh, yeah. Carry us out of the mud.
You can go 1-5 and break even this weekend.
Sounds good to me. Sounds too good.
We got it, man.
Yeah. He's getting cocky. Be careful.
No, I believe, Terry. I believe. Book it.
So the Rams going to win just to screw the Lions on their draft pick, or is because
no? The Rams are going to win because the Cardinals aren't any good.
Okay, all right.
I noticed there's camps, right, where the Rams are going to win because Stafford's good. The Rams are going to lose because Stafford stinks. The Rams are going to win because their defense is good. No, I'm just of the camp. The Cardinals stink. That's it.
Okay. I hear you.
That'll do it for today's Big D Energy. For my guy, Terry Foster, Sawyer, and Sam, my name is Neil Rule. Appreciate you all tapping in to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Gang, gang.
It's not what I'm up to, Okerlund. It's what it all comes down to. And what it all comes down to is this. Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.